Be able to say that today we have a little report from our weekend conference, the Deep State, that took place in Cheltenham. It was a fantastic day. We enjoyed it. Everybody who spoke to us said they enjoyed it. And my goodness, some fantastic speakers. Let's have a look at this video report, thanks to Gemma Cooper and the media team that were with us.
From the moment the doors opened, the atmosphere was buzzing. More than 300 people had travelled to Cheltenham to hear UK Column's take on the Deep State. Some had even travelled as far as Australia and the United States to hear what our speakers had to say. Delegates enjoyed tea, coffee, snacks and socialising before settling into their seats for a day of mind-blowing information. Our speakers didn't disappoint. It was one truth bomb after another. First up was activist and campaigner Raja Mir. He kicked off with an explosive exposé about institutionalised corruption. He got a standing ovation. Raja was followed by UK Column's very own editor and co-founder Brian Gerrish. He revealed information he's never told anyone before until now.
This is sedition. This is treason. We were told. What were the security services doing? Where were they? I think they were complicit.
With the Deep State firmly in focus, delegates were treated to their very own UK Column donut in the break, a nod to the odd-shaped building just up the road, which houses the British Security and Intelligence Agency, GCHQ. Were they listening in today? What do you think? The breaks also gave an opportunity to buy books and merchandise from specially invited guests, and perhaps most importantly of all, the chance to talk to fellow audience members and forge new friendships. But soon it was back to the action, with Alex Thompson talking about his time at GCHQ and giving his insights about the British establishment. Then lunch, a chance to chew over the morning's content and reflect.
What do you think of the event so far today?
I'm really enjoying it, yeah, very insightful, particularly Raja this morning. Really enjoyed that. Quite harrowing actually, and I say enjoy, it's not quite enjoy, but you know what I mean. I think it's been exceptionally well organised. Look forward to the next one.
Wonderful day, sun is shining, and everyone chatting. And I think, I noticed that at Bristol, where we didn't have access to outdoor space. But here, that adds a certain expansiveness to discussion. And how wonderful it is just to be surrounded by people with whom one can turn effortlessly and say a joke or make a reference, and not check yourself, not second guess your interlocutor, that kind of thing. There is a real ease in that, and I think we only discover it when we come here.
Well, we can see the sky, can't we? And there's no chemtrails, which is quite nice. But yeah, it's brilliant. It's worth every penny. Look at the people, it's just a bunch of wonderful misfits of mad uncles and aunts and fathers and whatever else and mothers. And it's just joy. Absolute joy.
After lunch, a UK Column panel discussion with questions from the audience. Then a much-anticipated presentation from Patrick Henningsen, a recent return to UK Column's Friday afternoon news show after a stint away. He went down a storm. The final speaker of the day was GCHQ whistleblower Catherine Gunn. She too had the audience on their feet. It was an extraordinary presentation, rounding off an extraordinary day. But it wasn't over yet. Ticket holders joined the UK Column team and our speakers for an evening buffet, social and some music. A chance to relax with like-minded people.
These sorts of events are massively important to bring people together. For me, that's what it's all about, is finding people. And it's been lovely today. Really enjoyed it.
The unanimity you get when people get together, which you can't get on a screen, is just so important. And it's what I think most of the big dogs fear, because when we're together and working together and thinking together, we're much more dangerous than if we're behind screens and just a number of followers behind somebody who's bringing across a message. So it's hugely important.
It's spiritually good for us all, I think. And it makes you think that you're not alone, and that maybe that we can fight some of this madness that's thrown at us if we all stick together. The presenters and the interviewees, the interviewers, they all do a fantastic job. And you can just talk to them like they're your friends and always have been your friends at an event like this.
The team themselves, I'm so impressed with their big hearts, actually. You can feel the authenticity, the love and the respect that they have for each other, the care for humanity and what's going on in the world, and their pursuit of the truth. I'm always blown away by the sort of phenomenal research that they all do, their knowledge. It's really quite extraordinary, and I think they're in a league of their own.
The raw honesty and clarity that they provide, I think, is priceless. If only all media was like that, maybe we wouldn't be in the mess that we're in.
UK column saved my life, and B, it's important because of the camaraderie here. The number of people that have come up and said hello, that have, we've always spoken to in chat for a long, long time. To actually meet them and to share your whole origin story and your experiences and the information that UKC gives us, it just takes it to a different level. And you can't get that on chat, and you can't get that through a screen. You've got to be here, folks, to experience it.
The event was so successful, plans are now underway for the next UK column on location in the autumn, and a residential weekend next year. Gemma Cooper for UK column in Cheltenham.
Well, there we are. A wonderful event, and of course more planned. So if you didn't come to that one, stay with us because you'll have the opportunity in the future. Now, I'd also say that if you didn't see Saturday's event, you weren't there, that's still available as a live stream, which you can get through the UK Column website. That's £20 for non-members, £18 for UK Column members. But the next best thing to have a look at that live event. Now, Diane, we have another video of the event on Saturday.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at that, another interpretation of how the day went, and then the three of us can think back and we can chat a little bit about how it was and what we personally experienced on that day. So let's have a look at this. And of course, I should say that this is from Monty Toms. Monty, who of course has been producing some really excellent reports for the UK column. So let's see what Monty's take on the UK column event was.
I try and tell one person a day that UK column has got something to say and it's truthful.
I enjoy watching UK column, but actually seeing everybody in the flesh is a treat.
UK column's important because some of us were walking around knowing nothing, and somebody said, oh, this whole COVID thing, it's a scam. And I said, don't say that in front of my family, they'll kill me. And they just sort of said, watch UK column over their shoulder as they left. I watched it for 3 minutes and it's like, oh my gosh, we've been totally duped. So ever since then, it's been a touchstone and like a baseline to try and deduce what's going on in our country and in the world, and I consider it to be very trustworthy.
I'm here with Steve, my husband. We've just got back from holiday. Gemma Cooper, who's part of UK column now, she got in touch with Steve whilst we were away. She told us about the event, and we said, right, well, we're flying in on the 4th, so we might as well go straight from Gatwick to Cheltenham, and we'll come here and we'll do the conference as well. So,
and what did you think of the first talk this morning, kind of the beginning?
Amazing. Roger, from being from Manchester, Roger's sort of up north as well, so it's really great to listen to him. I had heard of him before, I've heard him speak before, I've seen him online, I've not actually seen him in person. So the messaging and what he's been doing, his campaign is phenomenal, and I really must go and have a chat with him at some point during the day.
I just love everything what UK column do, and I love meeting up with people that we've met on protests and over the last 5 years. But UK column do a brilliant job. Fantastic speakers.
I've been following UK column for a number of years. It's truthful, it's honest, it's well reported, it's well researched and well delivered. And I'm proud to be here amongst such brilliant speakers. And following on from what Raj and Sue's mentioned, the presentation by Brian Gerrish just sets the framework against how this has all happened to us. It's a silent mission.
What's your message to the mainstream media in contrast to independent media like UK Column?
Close up and go home. They're so indelibly deluged with the perversions of the deep state that it's irretrievable.
It's been good to put people's personalities, etc., behind the on-screen images, seen in the flesh, so to speak.
What's your message to the mainstream media compared to UK Column?
The truth shall set you free.
Why do you think UK Column, as an organisation and kind of honest journalism, why do you think that plays like a vital role in pushing back against the mainstream media and Agenda 2030?
Well, I think, all these organisations, I know UK Column have been around for a good number of years, there's been many others that have sort of popped up more recently, but, that there's so many people now that I think are waking up to the fact that the mainstream media are bought and paid for, and we need places like UK Column and other news outlets, alternative news outlets, to get the alternative message out there so that people start to join the dots, if you like.
What have you enjoyed today? What's been a highlight for you?
Just meeting people in person and making a personal connection. Because again, like somebody said, especially the first speaker is super interesting. He said the only way you fight back is by not being what they want you to be. And they definitely, deep state or whatever, these systems, they don't want personal connections. They want to break up families, friendships, groups. Anybody who's thinking, what's wrong with asking questions? You can believe something different, go ahead, but I'm not going to believe it. How can that be offensive? So meeting other people in person to do that.
You have the BBC panel sat in front of you right now. What would you say?
I'm glad that I haven't paid a licence or turned my TV on for 5 years. And do your job.
Be honest, do your job, tell the truth, even if it hurts.
This is the second time I've come to a conference of UK Column News. It's fabulous, and the information we get here is second to none. We have very accomplished speakers here, all of whom have tremendous credentials. I've learned a lot already, and we're only halfway through.
What would your message to the mainstream media be?
Wake the up and start doing something proper, for God's sake.
The day is only half done, of course, but this is the group for the United Kingdom and further that is refusing to accept the status quo. The dark side is trying to infiltrate every aspect of our life, and we're saying enough's enough. But you can only do that with meaning if you explain what's going on. So I'm glad to be here, and I'm enjoying every moment of it.
Where have you travelled from to come to the UK Column Live event?
I have travelled from Galicia in northern Spain, driven through northern Spain, up through France. I think that's about 1,400 miles, and then from New Haven over to Plymouth.
What's been a highlight for you?
The highlight, they're all highlights in their own way. Perhaps the one that was most moving was the first one, because Raja, his work is incredibly intense, dangerous for himself as an individual, and very moving. It moved me to tears.
What do you think about the theme of looking at the deep state?
It's been interesting to see the threads drawn together through the talks. Obviously, it's quite well covered on the overall broadcasts and the research. But no, I've enjoyed the day.
Well, I think today we're in a post-truth society, exactly as Orwell wrote it. I think you'd have to pay me to watch the mainstream media. I view that as an exercise in self-harm or self-injury, watching the BBC or any of the other professional liars.